Jessica's run at Circle J, I believe. Regular play first, then a slow play review. Okay. That definitely looked like ground trouble on first, but we're going to look at that again. One, he was really anticipating early on this one as well. You're in the forward position, and he's already rating back here, which is a good 3 strides out. I can't help but wonder if your horse is one of those horses that would do better if you look and ride, up the pin more, line up with third more, and then look and ride up the pin before you go to your arc to keep him free running a little better. So backing that up, let's count where he's setting up at. 1, 2, 3, and then he slips. That you can't fault him. I don't think he's a rollback type horse, and rollback horses really need to hit their pivot foot in the ground, and sometimes when the ground won't stick, if it's shifty, they fall, and then it becomes a big pulling match with you too. I know people think tie down, but I would say you're really handsy, and you're high-handed as well in this one. I mean, he slipped, and your hand is up by your chest, and his head is up by your face. But again, he scared himself. Your approach here is a little bit smaller than your first run today. I actually liked your approach on your today's run better than I did Wauchula, and way better than Wauchula. And then this run, you could have had maybe even just a little bit more arc so he doesn't lose so much speed. But then he comes around, he makes a hard turn, he slips, he can't handle the ground, and he comes out of it. But then going to second barrel, you get back to 2 hands and you're up riding with 2 legs. But there you go leaning again. You're not quite to the barrel yet, and you're both already turning, and you've got one more stride to go, and you're already, both of you are turning. Look at you, you're leaning in, and he's leaning in. There's no way you're going to clear that barrel. Your hand's over the barrel, and your body's leaning into the barrel. So once again, when you're back here, Jessica, you need to be thinking 2 hands. God knows he's looking at the barrel, so you need to be looking over here. You need to be looking at your pocket. So when you go forward up here, you're riding out here, and that's going to help you get where you need to be. Instead, you're both looking and riding here. When you're back here, you need to be looking straighter, longer, and riding straighter, longer, because he's rating back here, and he's turning right there. So that's not helping you at all, and you're leaning big time over that barrel, and that's why you hit that barrel. So then, you got to get around it and make up for time here, and then you're like, all right, I already slipped it first, hit second, let's just get clean around this barrel. So now here you go in nice, and again, though, your hand is very, very high, Jessica. Your hand is up by your chest. I can't help but wonder, is it a rein length thing? Could you shorten your reins? Or could you just stop being so high-handed? Martha Josie always says, put your hand in your pocket. Put your money in your pocket. And Charlotte James, all of the good ones, Ed Wright, they all tell you to keep your hands no higher than your horn. Your hand's predominantly always up by your chest. Remember the saying, high hand, high head, and that's what's happening to you. So I don't think you have a problem with a tie down. I think you have a problem with hand position. You need to learn to ride with your hand below your horn, whether you shorten your reins, or me personally, so I won't get in my horse's face, I go down the alleyway saying stay out of their face, and I just think ride to spot 1 and spot 2 and talk to my horse. So when I want my horse's turn, I go, whoa, whoa, here, here, here. My horses hear me say, here, here, here. They'll turn a barrel just based on that, so I don't have to pull on their head. So again, that was a wide turn all the way around, and just overall pull your horse up there. So anyways, here's what I would recommend trying to do. Come for a lesson, let me look at your rein length, let me ride your horse, and just see if we can't get those hands lower. If he's a high-headed horse, I understand why people would want to put a tie down on it, and I understand some horses will balance on a tie down. Some horses will keep their head lower, but I find tie downs just dump a horse on their front end more. And with his rollback style, I think you'd be better off to try to ride him more with your body and your leg and less with your hand, and have low hands to keep a low head. So those would be my suggestions. But again, I'd like to ride him. I'd like to see you ride him in person as well. And then I'll have a little bit more insight. But based on these three videos that you sent me today, your biggest issue, I think, is your approach to first, the leaning on second, the anticipation going into your turns, and not riding straight or longer. So those would be three changes I would make. So let me know if that's at all helpful to you, and thank you for considering me for coaching and lessons.